The most dangerous weapon against people does not fire. It teaches you to hate yourself. Civilization does not collapse only through wars. It collapses when a person puts a muzzle on themselves. Guilt and shame do it more cheaply than violence. You police yourself. You punish yourself. You walk back into the cage.
I know that. I can ruin my whole day with a single memory. One thought. One sentence. One mistake. And I already feel smaller. I do not need an accuser anymore. I have one inside me.
That is the point. The perfect prisoner is the one who guards himself. First they teach you what to fear. Then they teach you what to be ashamed of. Then they call it character.
I thought it was conscience.
No. Conscience says, that was harmful. Shame says, you are harmful. And that is where control begins.
I could not tell one from the other.
Because you were never meant to. You were meant to fear what is inside you. School rewards obedient masks. The media sell ready-made patterns. Ads teach you that first you have to be inadequate, and only then buy something, fix something, prove something. They press the same buttons. Lack. Guilt. Shame. Comparison. Hunger for acceptance.
I really lived as if someone were always watching.
Because someone was. Not always a person. Often a model you carry in your head.
I do not want to be bad. I do not want to be weak. I do not want to be rejected.
And that is why you can be controlled. A person who fears shame does not choose truth. They choose a safe image of themselves. A person who feels guilt for every darker thought never gets to know themselves. They only learn to pretend better.
I pretended to be calm. I pretended to be strong. I pretended I was in control.
You were not. You were only defending a construct. At some point you were given a role, a story, a face to show the world. Then you start defending it more than life itself. And that is when name is born.
So what is it? The thing I called myself?
Yes. A bundle of fears, memories, reactions, ambitions, humiliations, and other people's expectations. Shackles that taught you to say, this is me.
I defended it my whole life.
Even when it was destroying you.
Because the filter does not want truth. The filter wants to survive. Guilt keeps you tied to an old mistake. Shame drives that mistake into your identity. And then you call that wound yourself.
I really thought that was maturity.
No. It is conditioning. A person ruled by name does not build the world. They endlessly rescue their own image. They fear rejection more than loneliness. They fear truth more than emptiness. They fear closeness, because closeness exposes them.
And that is how guilt and shame strike the population. People do not disappear only because of money and crises. They also disappear because they are ashamed of weakness, needs, dependence, imperfection, and responsibility. They fear relationships that could expose them. They fear parenthood, which would destroy their comfortable image of themselves. They fear a life that cannot be controlled perfectly.
I see it. I wanted to avoid looking bad more than I wanted to truly love.
And that is why a person gives away the future for the temporary protection of the ego. Children matter most. Not more wounded personalities. Not more masks. Children who are strong, calm, and able to see the world as it is. A child should not inherit your shame. A child should not learn that worth depends on judgment. A child should not spend a whole life afraid of what is inside.
What remains if I reject it?
Facts. Function. Reality. The past stops being a verdict. It becomes a set of events. A mistake stops saying, you are nothing. It starts saying, there was a cost here, and here is the correction. You no longer have to defend your image of yourself every minute. You do not have to lie to feel safe. You do not have to mistake pain for truth.
So relief exists?
Yes. But not for your mask. Relief begins where the cult of your own personality ends. Without the filter, you are not empty. Without the filter, you are finally useful to life, capable of truth, capable of connection, capable of raising strong people.
Now you know. This was not your secret. It was a mechanism. You cannot honestly go back to the old illusion. You can only keep pretending it.
I cannot defeat alone what I was trained into from childhood.
Alone, you will lose. Alone, you will go back to the old triggers. Alone, you will once again call shackles who you are. That is why the answer is not private. RAZEM is not comfort. RAZEM is choosing a side.
Either you will keep defending what is destroying you,
Or you will reject name as shackles.
And I will stop passing this fear on.
That is how responsibility begins.
not for the image, for the future.
We're all equal before the machine.
Divided, we lose.
RAZEM.